Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all that financial noise and really get to the insights that matter for you.
That's the plan.
And today, our mission is to unpack the work of Lyn Alden. You've probably seen her name around. She's really gaining ground in global finance.
Definitely.
She just has this incredible knack for simplifying really complex macroeconomic stuff, making it accessible.
It's true, like her explanation of quantitative easing, not just bond buying, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how it fundamentally changes the definition of money itself.
Yeah, a point many mainstream analyses just gloss over.
So what's fascinating, and you touched on this, is her very distinct approach.
It really is. She brilliantly fuses engineering principles with finance.
That results in analysis that's not just clear, but also, refreshingly unbiased.
It's like she sees financial systems as these complex machines.
Yeah.
Understand them, optimize them.
Right. Her work really serves as a guide, I think, for all kinds of investors.
Absolutely. From individuals just wanting a solid foundation to institutions needing those really deep, deep insights.
So for this deep dive, our source material is excerpts from Lyn Alden, una líder de pensamiento en el panorama financiero global.
Mm-hmm.
And by exploring these, you'll get a kind of shortcut to understanding her core thinking, her goals, her impact.
And also the challenges she faces, which are significant.
Definitely. Okay, let's unpack this then.
Let's do it.
So if we look at what's really driving Lyn Alden and her firm, Lyn Alden Investment Strategy, it seems to boil down to empowering you, the investor.
Right. And providing that top-tier, genuinely actionable analysis.
Top of the list seems to be democratizing financial education.
Yeah, making that knowledge, which often feels like it's locked away, making it accessible, understandable.
For a really broad audience.
Yeah.
Translating these super complex ideas, macroeconomics, valuation, market cycles,
into language we can all actually get our heads around.
And what stands out for me there is her commitment to, rigorous macroeconomic analysis.
Oh, absolutely. She's all about providing that deep, data-driven research.
Identifying those big structural trends, the systemic risks, the long-term opportunities.
Right. It's fundamentally focused, deliberately moving away from all the short-term noise that dominates the headlines.
Yeah, that noise can be overwhelming. And it's not just about understanding the theory, is it? It's about action.
Precisely. Helping investors develop what she calls resilient investment strategies.
We're talking about building these robust, patient portfolios, things that can actually withstand different market conditions.
Which includes that strong emphasis on dividend growth investing.
That's a key distinction, isn't it?
Right.
Not just high dividends now.
But growing dividends, that signals a healthy business, one that's friendly to shareholders.
Alongside, smart asset allocation and her quite interesting contrarian approach.
Yes, that contrarian piece is vital, and it links directly to her goal of independence in her research.
What makes her contrarian isn't just disagreeing for the sake of it, though.
No, not at all. It's about meticulously analyzing why the crowd might be wrong.
Like spotting bubbles. We're finding value where others aren't looking.
Exactly. And always backed by data, never just emotion or gut feeling. That integrity is really her foundation.
You can feel that come through.
Yeah.
And crucially, she doesn't shy away from evaluating emerging asset classes.
Right. She investigates and offers these well-reasoned perspectives on the role and potential of new assets.
Bitcoin is specifically mentioned.
Yes, within the context of diversification and the, evolving global monetary system.
It's almost like she's asking, okay, if money itself is changing, what does that mean for our traditional investments?
And then methodically building that answer, step by step.
So, stepping back a bit, her influence, it goes way beyond just publishing reports, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Her impact is, you see it in how her long-form articles have genuinely shifted perspectives for countless investors.
Retail folks and institutional managers alike.
Yeah, absolutely. Her unique takes on monetary policy or commodities, they often filter into the mainstream discussion. She's not just clear, she's persuasive.
That why she focuses on is so powerful. But, okay, here's a thought. With such a long-term, often contrarian view, does she ever risk being, too early?
That's a very fair question.
Or maybe missing shorter-term shifts that could still matter to an investor along the way?
It raises a key point. How does she manage that risk? How does she achieve that depth and clarity?
Right.
Well, her interdisciplinary approach, especially that engineering background we mentioned, it gives her this really analytical, systematic way of thinking.
So she applies that to economics and investments.
Exactly. Viewing financial systems like complex structures. Things you can understand, things you can optimize.
Which helps navigate that too early risk.
I think so, yeah.
Hmm.
By focusing on the fundamentals that, eventually tend to play out, it grounds the analysis.
So it's not just an intuitive guess, it's a systematic breakdown. And it seems like, regardless of the asset stocks, commodities, digital currencies, her focus is consistently on fundamental value, underlying strength.
Absolutely. Championing investment in assets with strong fundamentals that offer, hopefully, sustained performance over time.
And this whole approach, it's also positioned her as quite an authority on money itself.
No question. Her book, Broken Money, and her public appearances, they've really made her a thought leader.
On the history of money, the implications of modern policy.
Including the rise of cryptocurrencies, yeah. She tackles the big questions there.
Of course, even for someone who dissects things so precisely, the markets are never static, are they?
Far from it.
So how does she navigate the challenges? There must be quite a few.
Oh, for sure. One major one is simply dealing with extreme market volatility.
Right, when everyone else is reacting emotionally to daily swings.
Her challenge and also her strength is keeping her audience focused on those underlying fundamentals, patiently reminding them that true value emerges over years, not days or weeks.
And that short-term noise is amplified, isn't it? By the sheer flood of information out there.
And misinformation, frankly. The volume of financial news, so much of it superficial or biased, it makes it incredibly hard for investors to find quality information.
So she constantly has to be that beacon of rigorous, objective analysis, cutting through it all.
It's a constant battle. Then there's adapting to technological innovation.
Things are moving so fast.
Yeah.
Especially in areas like DeFi, NFTs, other cryptos, beyond Bitcoin.
It demands constant research, constant learning. Just to keep her analysis relevant and forward-looking, she has to stay on top of it.
Always learning, yeah.
And from a broader view, you've got the global regulatory framework. Especially for digital assets, it's always shifting.
A moving target.
Exactly. Understanding and anticipating those changes is critical for certain investment strategies. She has to keep tracking that, keep updating her insights for you.
And ultimately, I suppose the ongoing challenge is just maintaining that influence and relevance.
As new voices emerge, as market trends shift.
She'll need to keep adapting her methods, communicating effectively, and just remaining one of the key analysts in this whole evolving ecosystem.
It's a continuous effort.
So, wrapping things up a bit, Lyn Alden's real enduring value, it seems to lie in that unwavering commitment to clarity, independence, and that long-term fundamental approach to investing.
I think that's right.
We've touched on her diverse contributions, haven't we? From democratizing financial education for everyday people.
Right up to providing incredibly sharp analysis on new things like Bitcoin.
And what's really impactful, as you've highlighted, is how that interdisciplinary background, that engineering mindset.
Yeah, it lets her see financial systems differently, as these complex, optimizable structures.
Which offers a really powerful mental framework, doesn't it, for navigating markets? It's more than just following trends.
Much more. And look, in a world just saturated with information, often questionable information, her rigor, her clarity, it's a real beacon of quality for you, the listener.
So, okay, what does this all mean for you? Maybe consider how a contrarian fundamental approach, like Alden's, how might that shift your own perspective?
On market volatility, perhaps? Or even emerging technologies?
Right. What long-term opportunities might you be overlooking because you're focused solely on the short-term noise?
It's a good question to ask yourself.
We definitely encourage you to keep exploring independent, data-driven analysis to inform your own financial journey.